Religious liberty is the right to live according to your beliefs
in your personal life, at home, and in public. It is the ability to freely follow your moral conscience. Catholics, Jews, Protestants, Muslims, Mormons, agnostics, Hindus, atheists all enjoy the opportunity to worship according to their own conscience. Religious freedom matters even to those who oppose or find religious beliefs to be incorrect. Laws that protect liberty of belief and conscience for one person or group of individuals protect that same opportunity for all other
people
and should be held inviolate for all.
While many immigrants came to the colonies hoping to freely exercise their religious beliefs, the full implementation of religious liberty did not happen till more than a century and a half after colonization. In 1630, the Puritans established the Massachusetts Bay Colony as an example for the world. In his talk, A Model of Christian Charity, the Puritan leader John Winthrop extolled his fellow Congregationalists prior to arriving on American land. Let us consider that we shall be as a city on a hill. The eyes of all nations are upon us, so that if we deal falsely with our God in this work we have undertaken, and so cause him to withdraw his present help from us, we shall be made a story and a byword through the world. We shall open the mouths of enemies to speak evil of the ways of God, and cause their prayers to be turned into curses upon us, till we be consumed out of the good land whither we are going. Within this modern utopian society, the Puritans did not extend the religious tolerance they desired to other religions. Their strict rules and regulations quickly made enemies as well as friends. When Roger Williams started teaching new ideas and religious doctrine, he was kicked out of the colony. He would go on to found Rhode Island, the first state that officially separated religion and state, and proclaimed free religious liberty for all individuals. Soon after, Anne Hutchinson was expelled from Massachusetts for claiming that women could receive personal answers and guidance outside of official authority. 4 Baptists were later killed for refusing to renounce their religious beliefs. This attitude of religious intolerance was not limited to the Puritans alone. Persecution of Baptists and minority sects were common throughout the colonies. 9 of the 13 colonies had official state-established churches. Massachusetts, Maryland, Connecticut, and New Hampshire were Congregationalist. Their taxes and laws officially supported both the state and the state's religious institutions, leaving those of minority faiths in a lonely, isolated, and often persecuted position. Virginia, New York, and North and South Carolina were Anglican, or Church of England. Such iron fist control by religious organizations in politics and religious matters
were incorrect in the eyes of revolutionaries such as Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. Strongly influenced by the ideas of Roger Williams, William Penn, and other revolutionaries, these 2 founding fathers became firm advocates for religious liberty in the Virginia state legislature following the Revolutionary War. In a letter written to the Danbury Baptists in 1802 while serving as President of the United States of America, Thomas Jefferson said, "Believing with you that religion is a matter which lies solely between man and his God, that he owes no account to none other for his faith or his worship, that the legislative powers of government reach actions only and not opinions, I contemplate with sovereign reverence that act of the whole American people which declared that their legislature should make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, thus building a wall of separation between church and state." Even 40 years later, on his dying day, Jefferson would count as his 3 greatest personal achievements: 1. Writing the Declaration of Independence; 2. Founding the University of Virginia; and 3. Authoring the Virginia Act of Religious Freedom. It was a battle that would take 10 years. In 1785, representatives from Virginia's House of Delegates began citing Pennsylvania as an example of religious liberty at its finest. William Penn had written a charter in 1681 that promised religious liberty to all those who believed in the one eternal God. They should not be compelled at any time to maintain any religious worship, place, or ministry whatever. Germans poured into Pennsylvania, eager for the right to live their Protestant religion and seek economic opportunities. Witness the state of Pennsylvania, the Virginian delegates argued in 1785, wherein no such establishment of religion hath taken place. Their government stands firm, and which of the neighboring states has members of brighter morals and more upright character? Far from failing, William Penn's religious experiment to allow individuals to choose to worship as they will was a resounding success. Thomas Jefferson began on January 16, 1786, penning an act for establishing religious freedom, in which he stated, Almighty God hath made the mind free, that all attempts to influence it by temporal punishments, burdens, or by civil incapacitations tend only to beget habits of hypocrisy and meanness, and our departure from the plan of the holy author of our religion, that the impious presumption of legislatures and rulers, civil as well as ecclesiastical, who being themselves but fallible and uninspired men, have assumed dominion over the faith of others, setting up their own opinions and modes of thinking as the only true and infallible, and as such endeavoring to impose them on others, hath established and maintained false religions over the greatest part of the world, and through all time. After a decades-long battle, Virginia disestablished the Church of England and embraced religious liberty in 1786. Today, the fight for religious freedom continues in other ways. Discrimination, hatred, opposition, ignorance all present formidable obstacles to those who seek to live their faith. In the wake of World War II, following some of the most heinous and egregious desecration of human liberties in the history of man, leaders from around the world met to draft a universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares that everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his or her belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, in public or private, to manifest his belief or religion in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. The enshrinement of religious freedom in the governing documents of the United States represents one of the foremost achievements of America's grand democratic experiment. Emblazoned in the opening of the U.S. Constitution, the First Amendment declares, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition their government. For centuries, minority groups have contested over the proper role and relationship between religion and the government. As we stand for religious liberty in the 21st century, we face unique challenges and amazing opportunities. Let us forever keep the legacy and light of conscience and religious liberty burning bright.